Hi there internet, it's me, Peter Willington. I'm doing another vlog. I haven't done one of these in, a while. And the reason is simply that, look at this, I haven't even prepared for it. That's awful, isn't it? The reason is that they take quite a long time for me to put together, or at least I thought they did. Perhaps they don't. I'm rambling, really. The reason I'm really doing it, this one today, is because a colleague of mine, the delightful Keith from pocketgamer.biz, he said that I should do another vlog, and so I've decided to. So here we are, this is for Keith. And I sort of said, well, what do you want me to talk about? Because, you know, what could I possibly add to the conversation about games that's going on that is new and interesting and fresh. So let's talk about reviews. I am going to talk about a review, basically, and reviews ever so slightly more in general. I really enjoyed Pear Saga, which is King's new game. So it's, I mean, to strip it down to its essentials, it is Peggle, but free to play. It's kind of what King hopes will take over from Candy Crush Saga, I'm sure, or maybe not even take over, but add to the dominance of the App Store that is Candy Crush Saga. Pear Saga is, I believe, still in soft launch at the time of recording, which is the 19th of November. And but I've been playing it. I've been playing the soft launch version of it from New Zealand or Canada or something like that, and it's fantastic. It basically takes the idea of Peggle, which is sort of like pachinko, plinko kind of ball physics, bouncing. You aim a ball from a central location on like a board, and then you ping it at these pegs, and then the pegs go away. Great, like that's Peggle, isn't it? Really? So it's that, and also that it has that PopCap excitement and joy that PopCap does really well, but amped up. Because I think King really now are the kings of this. You know, they are the kings of the casual game. You know, like. I know, kings are the kings, I know. The thing is, I keep trying to think of new ways of saying that, but basically that's the best way of saying it, right? King are the top, like, of that very open, very inclusive kind of video game production. You know, these products that come out. Anyway, so I loved it, and I reviewed it, and you can see my review on pocketgamer.co.uk, which is a website, I wrote. And but I kind of, you know, I guess what I want to kind of more specifically focus in on is the importance of like how a game, and this is all personal opinion obviously, but like how I feel a game can do better at review when it's trying new stuff, even if it is a copy. So you know, you always hear about reviewers who are like, oh, I'm really bored of all the games that I'm playing at the moment, and oh, everything is coming out and there's no ingenuity. But actually there's tons of ingenuity. It's just that you have to, I feel like you have to look past the surface level kind of stuff. So with PG I review a lot of free-to-play games, and let's be fair, like Nicholas Lovell said the other day, you know, like I think people are kind of tired of reskins. But at the same time, there are a lot of reskins at the moment. Like Clash of Clans has just so many clones of it now floating about, and some of them are very good. But they're good not because those clones are very good when they do something different. When they are exactly the same as Clash of Clans, it's very easy to just kind of write them off and be like, "Oh, I've already played this, like this exact same game." So. There's one which is kind of I think it's in soft launch at the moment, and I don't know if I'm going to be reviewing it, so I won't mention it by name. But basically, the thing that it does is that's different to Clash of Clans, and I should say it is identical to Clash of Clans, except for the skin. Like, it's 2D isometric, like same viewpoint, same unit progression, all of that sort of stuff. But the one thing that it changes is that it's got this bigger emphasis on multiplayer, and it sort of pushes you more towards PvP rather than against the computer. And I found Clash of Clans to be a very solitary experience, and I really liked Clash of Clans. Give it a 9, I think it was. I really liked that, but for me it was a very solitary experience because I kind of, there was this big map and I wanted to progress through this map all the time, and I didn't really get too into the multiplayer side of things. Now, comes this other game, and the single player is there, and I think without it, it would be a lesser game. But it is much less of a focus, and it's a part of a big menu where it kind of pushes you into doing multiplayer encounters. So it's much more focused on that. It's much more focused on building a clan, building a community, building a network of people that keeps you engaged with that game, gives you a reason to keep coming back to the game. You want to do better for your, I can't remember what they're called, army, clan, something like that. You want to do better for them. And the reason that you want to do better for them is because you're constantly engaging with them, rather than giving you the opportunity, as somebody who's playing the game, to go off and do your own thing. It doesn't want you to do that at all. It kind of just wants to focus you. And for me, additions and changes, even if it's just changes like that, can change the way that a game feels, and it can mean that a game does. I respond better to a game that does that. So yeah, Pear Saga, right? Like, it is Peggle and it's free to play, but it does something a bit more, a bit additional. It doesn't necessarily change, like some of the special power-ups that you get, for example, just taken straight from Peggle. Like, I think it's Beyond the Unicorn in Peggle. It's got this like long shot. It might be the owl, actually. Might be Master Owl or whatever the heck he's called. Where you can tell basically where the next shot that you shoot is going to land. Well, Pear Saga's got that, except for it's an in-app purchase that you splash out some cash and you get a few of them, but it's not like a character trait. So it's ripped off that like wholesale, but it amps up the whole sweet, cute, positive vibes of Peggle, and goes even further than that. Goes even further. It produces these moments where there's fireworks and fanfares everywhere, and then there's some cool lounge jazz, and then a frog is dancing naked on a menu screen, and it's so exciting, and you want to see that screen so many times, and it keeps you playing, And the fact that, like, when you run out of lives, there's a little heart, and he pops up and he goes, "You've got no lives left," and a little tear's coming down from his eyes. It's design like that, it's changes like that makes you think, this is different to Peggle, this is an addition to Peggle, this is a change, and it is something that I really enjoy. And finally, and this is something I kind of wanted to address in a more sort of large-scale thing, but I'll just do it now. It feels a little bit unfair that the mobile market is often criticised for creating clones and sort of... A lot of people, when Angry Birds got famous, were making Angry Birds physics-based puzzlers, and like this Clash of Clans thing is happening a lot, where you get these strategy management games, a lot of them. And these kind of things happen. Doodle Jump, for example, got loads of clones. Temple Run, there's all sorts. But I think it's a bit unfair to focus on mobile and say, oh, well, that's all that happens. I feel it's a bit more like the video games industry has always done that. Like, for example, with Super Mario Brothers, when that just wasn't going to come out on any other system other than the NES, we got the Great Giana Sisters, right? Like, and that is a wholesale kind of thing. And like all of the endless platformers that came out around that time, the Sonic the Hedgehogs, the Bubsies, the Zools, all of them, they are taking aspects of that Mario game and they're running with it. And we remember the good ones, we remember the Kirbys, and we remember the Sonics, and we remember the Earthworm Jim's because they did something different. You know, they had that base running from left to right structure, which, you know, kind of Mario basically, let's admit it, sort of pioneered and made popular. But they added something different. So with Sega, it was like speed within the first couple of games. With Earthworm Jim, it was like beautiful animations and sound effects. It was like a visual spectacular. And with Kirby, you know, in House of Nintendo, it was just it was the power-ups, it was transformations. It was taking this idea of, oh, I can grab a flower in Mario and become Fire Mario. Well, in Kirby, you can suck up an enemy and like take their ability, and there's like 40 different abilities in the first game or something like that. That, you know, that is how you kind of take the same thing. You copy it, you maybe not clone it, but you copy the idea and then move it on, and you move it forward and you make that series memorable. And Super Mario will always be a legendary kind of franchise because it was there first. In exactly the same way that Grand Prix by Jeff Crammond is going to be the simulation game. It's going to be the simulation game that everybody points to and goes, well, that was kind of the start. And it'll always have a bit of a fond memory. Exactly the same way with, like, you know, Elite, you know, the fact that Elite comes along, it's completely unlike any other game, and is amazing. You know, it means that Frontier is still in the business. You know, they're still making games because of the love of Elite and the fact that people will always buy Frontier and Elite games, and Pokemon. You know, another great example. Of the first kind of game that gives you sort of monster catching, this collect them all thing that actually is kind of, you know, the repercussions, the sort of afterwave shock of Pokemon coming out has kind of affected the games industry forever. You know, the amount of collectibles that you get in everything now. But again, we will always go back to Pokemon, like I am at the moment with Pokemon X. We will always say, I loved Pokemon. So that's my vlog. It's probably way too long again. I'm always terrible with these, but it's been a while, so all of my words have been tumbling forth. If you're watching this on YouTube and you don't know who I am, hi, I'm Peter Willington. You can find my work on 000.wordpress.com. That's my work site. 0 is XERO, because I'm an idiot. You can find me on twitter.com/000. And come and check me out on pocketgamer.co.uk, where I write every day, or in retrospectpodcast.com, where I do podcasts and do more of this sort of silly talking, but not in front of a camera, but in front of a proper microphone, so it sounds a lot better.